Hello, everybody. This is Jen. Today we are going to work on a new project, which I'm excited about. This is going to be a demo video. We're going to be using multiple video clips, and I love to do this because sometimes I just take video of things that I'm making and I don't actually know what I'm going to create other than something that is pleasing to me and makes me either hungry if it's a food demo, or happy if it's a different kind of a demo, or educational if it's another kind of demo. But today we are going to do a cookie demo video. I made these amazing molasses vegan cookies, and I took a video recording of it. Um, and what we see here is I'm just adjusting to make sure I have the right size on here. I did a vertical video and I wasn't sure if it was square or horizontal, so you could see how I played with that. But here's the thing. When we're looking at doing the beginning of any kind of video, we want to be able to catch people and get their attention. And oftentimes with something that is different, they may not necessarily see every day. So when I saw the pour of the molasses across all of the other dry ingredients, I was like, ooh, that's really good. And so I was like, okay, I want to keep that. And then I have this big lump of brown. It looks like many different things. And I'm looking at that and I'm looking at then the other flour mixed in, and I'm thinking that did not turn out the way that I hoped. But I do like the part where I'm scooping the cookies onto the cookie sheets. So this is me going through and kind of identifying things that are pleasing to my eye. I love the lemon. So I'm going to try and figure out how to get a little bit of the lemon into this. I love the molasses. I don't really still know where I'm going with this right yet, but we have a lot of footage and we need to cut this down to 30 seconds. So we have our work cut out for us. The flaxseed, it's hard to really tell what that flax mixture is. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I make that look cool? That looks really gross. We're not going to use that. Maybe there's something in here that is at least something that'll stir up our curiosity. But as you can see, the way that I'm going through is I'm like, okay, I like the molasses. I like the lemon. I'm going to cut the pieces out. I really want it to flow. I want it to go quickly. I don't want people to lose their attention. So I'm going through and I'm really playing with sort of the logistics. What is it that I'm doing here? But also it needs to flow really well, so it can't take too long. There's really an art and beauty to this, which is one of my favorite things. Um, and so then I like the mixing piece, but I don't want very much of the mixing piece because it's pretty boring. If this was a longer demo video, one that I would be using onto YouTube, this would be a great teaser. So I would use the short and then I would move it into a longer video that's on my YouTube channel. But for the purposes of this today, I'm just doing the short form. You can also tell that I didn't get the camera perfectly in line here. And if it's not a good shot, just don't use it. Try and figure out something else that will work, or figure out a different angle for your video. But don't use something that is hard to understand what's going on. Okay, I liked the pat pat on there. So I liked the mixture. I liked the pat pat. This is definitely sort of ASMR slash just beauty slash fun type of video that I'm leaning toward. Definitely not a demo. I can put the recipe in the description, which I don't do sort of the call to action just because right now I'm focused on building an audience and building a relationship. I feel like when you ask for those types of things, the chances are you're going to lose a lot of people. So yeah, so I'm just making something that is fun. I love scooping the cookies. You can see that I increased the speed on here. So we're going to go through, we're going to look at the speed all the way up. So I'm on Adobe Rush. We're going to make this go as fast as possible. We do not need to get lost in it unless we just wanted to create some sort of a meditative video where people were literally just watching me scoop cookies onto the cookie sheet, which I may do down the road. But for the purposes of this, we want to have a quick 30-second video that is fun, fast moving, lots of motion, to keep brown piles of things looking looking interesting and delicious. I did not think through the cookie idea. Okay, so all right, so now we're going to go through, we're going to cut things out that we don't need. We love the open oven. People love to see what's in the oven. I'm certainly going to take out anything that has my fingers touching that food, although I was scooping things out with my fingers. I've had some people that were really grossed out by that. Oh well. But I am going to take the piece out where I'm tapping it. And this is just a process. So I know I don't want that piece, so I cut, and I know I'm going to get that part. And I'm just sort of marking different parts of this video that I know that I love. This is a really fun process because it's creative, it's in the moment, and it's quite fast. This whole process took me less than 20 minutes to do. So now we're just going into the next section. Um, I have quite a bit of footage where I am scooping the cooked cookies, the baked cookies onto the cooling rack. Again, I really like this for some reason, and I don't have to have a good reason why. I mean, that's the beauty of quantity, is that you get to just make a lot of different videos and pay attention to what other people like. But I really like this process. I don't know if I really need that piece. So I think that's what I'm trying to figure out, is how much of the oven do I really want before I get to the part where, again, it's sped up and it's a little bit meditative and kind of cool to see just how many cookies are going onto the drying rack. Um, Again, I want to get this to 30 seconds. So anything that is fluff and extra, I do not need. This was a total fail. I had sugar that I was really supposed to do before I put them in the oven, but I thought, hey, maybe I'll just do that after. Absolutely not. It looks horrible. Deleted all of it. Then I got to the part where I'm tasting cookies, and besides me realizing that I desperately need a haircut, I just want to get sort of the quick gist of how delicious this cookie is. So I'm going through and just figuring out, what do I really need here? People don't really need to see me loving this cookie and closing my eyes and looking like I might be doing something else. So I'm going to just cut those pieces out. I'm going to get to the gist. Here I am eating the cookie. Delicious, delicious. Mm-mm. But do I really need all of that? No. Let's just cut right to the cookie. There we go. Taking a bite. That's all I need. And then I need the reaction. So I'm just trying to fine tune this piece so that it's as short and sweet as possible. Yum. Um, and everybody likes a thumbs up. So we'll keep the thumbs up, and we're going to delete the little bit of fluff at the end. I'm very particular about getting rid of anything that is unnecessary, especially in these sort of SMR demo types of videos. This should be visually appealing, and it should be quick, with motion, with color. Again, sorry for the brown. That was a total, that was kind of a fail. I guess I'm gonna use a different color cookie in the future. I will say these cookies are delicious, and I will put the recipe in the description because you should try and make them. Okay, so now we're getting into the fine tuning of this video, and I really want to include the fine tuning in this demonstration because this is where the difference between an okay video and a great video happens. This is what I'm doing here, is even though I've sped it up by 1,000%, it is still too long. And so I'm cutting pieces out. I like to cut sort of the middle part out of there. And then I add, oh yeah, there's a little bit of sound. It's going to be, all right, I'm liking that. But we're still at 34 seconds. So we're going to go through and we're going to figure out how to get rid of that last 4 seconds, 4.2 seconds. What am I doing? Yeah, I remember this. I'm going to delete this little piece here. And I don't know if you are into using Adobe Rush yet or not, but I am not using any transitions in this. I'll create a separate video that includes transitions for you to be able to see what the difference is like. I'll also include one on titles, but this is purposely just focused on the editing process, multiple clips, creating a 30-second video out of many, many minutes of video clips. You can see just how easy it was to put all of the different clips into Adobe Rush, how easy it is for you to then edit each individual clip so that you can increase the speed. If I wanted to, I could zoom in on certain clips. The pieces in orange are the ones that are sort of identified as what you're going to be editing. So in this one, you can see the orange and you can see that it's fast. And all of the other clips are untouched. Okay, we're down to just needing to get rid of a little bit more than a second. And you can just slowly drag different pieces through. And a lot of times I just like to start in the beginning. Dot, 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 dot. It's kind of like a, I don't know, a little bit of music in my head. I made that a little bit longer just because it draws people in. I wanted the mix, 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 and then just get right into the pat, pat, and then right into the other sped up parts. But I'm trying to make sure that if there's any extra fluff in there at all, even if it's a millisecond, I can get rid of it. I'm pretty much down to 0.9 seconds. But I want to be careful. I don't want to just take anything out just to hit that goal. I really want it to flow and not look just forced in any way. So 0.9 seconds left. We're down to 29 just by taking a little tiny bit out of the beginning, and then I hit render. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to render, and then I am going to pull up the new version, and I'm going to create a new Adobe project. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to go back in to the project and go in. Let's just watch it here real quick. So this is the part that I want to speed up even faster. So we were at 1000%. I couldn't make it any faster in the original project. So now we're going to go back through and we're going to cut. Nope, we're not going to go into there. We're going to go back to the original. Go back to the one that we just uploaded. And we're going to just slice so that we are only focused on the part where we are creating the cookies onto the cookie sheets. and I'm going to grab this area, go to speed, and I'm just going to speed it up 200%, which means it's more like 2000%. So it's going to go really fast, but that's okay because it flows really well and it's not jerky or anything. So it'll look, it should look fine. Dot, 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 dot. Okay, yeah, and this is sort of the main part. Yep. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so that is pretty much it. That is what we are gonna, that's all we need to do. It's actually 26 seconds, which is even better. And at this point, we can just render and download to our phone one last time, and then we can just watch this version. We are not done yet. We haven't done any of the titles. We haven't done any of the music. But this, having a quality video that you like is going to make all of those other pieces very, very easy. We will be back again soon, and we're going to talk about how to do titles as well as how to create some fun transitions. Thanks. See you next time.